And take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go. 180.
Check. Watch 54. Get him. Pick the edge.
11.
On first down, it's Hines. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Here we go. 180.
Check right 54. Right 54. Stay with your man.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Returnable for Lockett. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the 27, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. They run the counter. It's Carson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's second and 18.
12.
Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's first and 10. Now a toss here, short side. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Green 80. Mike's 56. Here we go.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
We want it. Come to my.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got Jack Doyle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4.
It's just me and you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Right there, 54 Mike. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares. Check.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it first and goal.
Check. Watch 54. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Check 9.
They'll try to run with Carson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
2 on the play. It's 3rd down and goal to go.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He's got it. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
65.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here we go.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's get this.
White.
On play action, now Garoppolo. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
I'm not sure this is how they had it drawn out on paper, but this is going to work out for them and then some, right? They've got a big chunk they've got to pick up. They decide to check it down, and he just turns into a pure athlete and makes a huge play for them.
Here we go.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now it's Hines. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Mark Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch 54. Pin your mirrors back and go full strength. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the slip.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. He's got him in. Complete. 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. 83 yards as his guys are back within a single score. All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Able to slither by. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that'll get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
Here we go.
Garoppolo, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And he finds Howard complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Here we go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You better be afraid of me. You better.
They'll run on first down. Hines, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
From the 40 now on second down. Garoppolo gets this one to use check. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. The Niners on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important fourth quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game. Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the post. We could have some free football, couldn't we? We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Check 56.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge. Here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Right there, 54. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
From the gun, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you?
Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback. D-line, get that quarterback.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
Hey, we got to get this stopped.
They run the counter. Carson, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
3rd down and 6.
Right
Right there, 54 Mike.
You don't know no better.
To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. Middle of the field to the tight end, Doyle. And down inside the 15 he goes. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way.
And the Niners get there and bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's Wilson to throw. This goes out right to Doyle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They come out here in the eye. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown.
Got it.
Right there, 54 Mike.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They run again with Carson. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They run the counter. It's Carson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Well, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. On the NFL scoreboard, 4th quarter now at Soldier Field. And the Packers adding to their totals there and their lead. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They are just brimming with it right now.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Switch.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Seahawks are going to win this football game.
Let's go, defense.
They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year.
And there it is, Brandon, taking a knee. They get their first win of the season. They're now 1-3. And I remember when a 1-3 start meant you didn't even talk about going to the playoffs. Nowadays in the NFL, you still got a shot.
Yeah, and a big difference between 1-3 and 0-4.
I think they're going to practice really well next week, riding this momentum of this win.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Seahawks, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions.